First of all, today, I think it's the first real heat and humidity that we've had. I thought that was critical in the evolution of our football team, learning how to fight through with the elements when we become fatigued. We have a long way to go, with our mental conditioning, our mental makeup. It was good, though, to watch our leadership, and I think we have some good teaching lessons to go back to work tonight. Tomorrow we start our first two-a-day, and in the morning we'll scrimmage special teams. Trying to identify who our special team playmakers are, and then in the evening we'll scrimmage in Neyland. And it's an opportunity for people to showcase what they can do, and we're evaluating this football team to see who we can win with on Saturdays. So tomorrow is a great evaluation tool for us to see how far we've come. I'm looking forward to it because there'll be no coaches on the field. So we'll see their retention. Obviously, it's been through a long camp. Now you're kind of going through the dog days of training camp, and this is where your mental focus, your mental intensity has to kick in. Your leadership, your team chemistry, your accountability kicks in. So I think that is very, very important. Two other things. We welcome back Al Wilson today. He spoke to our football team, and as always, Al always brings a great message. So it's always great to welcome back all of our former players. And we're extremely proud of him and very proud that he came back to spend time with us today. Corey Vereen underwent successful surgery. Like I told you before, each individual is different with the healing process, so it's really hard to set a timetable. But right now, just looking at things, it could be as early as 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I know one thing about him, he's already motivated to get back, and that helps a lot with the healing process. So I'll answer any questions you may have.
Butch, today, did you kind of go into practice with the mindset of trying to, kind of kick them in the tail a little bit and get them going, or was it something you saw early that said, I got to fix it?
It's something I saw early, and every team is different. Their capacity, their workload is different. How they handle adversity, like I said, it's the first time we've had some adverse situations occur with the weather. I wish it'd get hotter. And so I saw, some individuals dragging. So that's the time where you got to push through, and that's where that's where that toughness is born. We talk about working to dominate your opponent. Well, you have to be able to play 8, 9 plays in a row. Not 3 or 4, and push through that, and that's how you develop your toughness.
Did you like the way they finished? Some of the guys said they thought they were close to having a bad practice, but then toward the end got a little better.
Well, I did. I thought we picked it up, but again, we can't have any bad periods in practice. Great teams, great championship football teams, they understand, have a workmanlike approach every day that they approach the football field. It's to win championships. It's to get better individually and improve collectively, and that's where we're still not there yet with this football team.
Coach, those freshman wideouts in particular have been so impressive. You feel like they kind of hit the wall a little bit?
They have hit the wall a little bit. I think you could see it today. We ask a lot out of them in terms of running, and like we talked about, playing fast and being able to digest the play call and the installation and then perform the way we want to perform with. But you know what? Youth is not an excuse. They're very talented, and we have to continue to push them, which Coach Zani does a great job, and he'll have them ready. But again, it's them understanding the tempo that we want to play with, and we're going to need all freshmen. They're going to have a great opportunity, and that's why we're pushing them like we are.
Will tomorrow be a chance for those guys that have sort of hit the wall to maybe show you some maturity and show their ability to fight through some things?
Absolutely. I think you just used a great term, maturity. We're going to find out the maturity of our football team tomorrow. It's going to be a grind. It's 2 days, and although the first practice will only be about an hour and 15 minutes, but it's going to be full pads and scrimmage. And we'll do some clock management situations, 20 seconds left in the game, different clock management situations like I spoke about, but also special teams, and then tomorrow night. But I'm going to find out about our leadership, our maturity, and just how far our freshmen have come and our younger players as well.
The guy has a 4-minute scrimmage.
It'll be situations, be coming out, there'll be a 1-minute drill, it'll be overtime, it'll be a 4-minute offense type situation. So, we try to expose our players to anything and every situation that occur throughout the course of a football season. So when that situation occurs during the season, they've practiced it and they have confidence in that situation because they have seen it, they have practiced it.
With Guy Howard, it seems a lot
more comfortable. It seems like he's not thinking as much as maybe he was in the spring. Have you seen that out of him?
Yeah, I see a lot of confidence in Alton, and we're going to need him to be one of our playmakers. And now he's playing with confidence. He's retaining information. We've been afforded the luxury because of his football intelligence and him understanding the offense. We've been able to move him around positionally. So now he's just not a slot receiver. So that's been really great to see, and I'm very encouraged by what I've seen with him.
What you talked about the freshman corners, Sunday for him quite a bit, but what has Justin Coleman meant to them, and what are you seeing out of Justin this game?
They need to model their games after Justin Coleman in terms of the way he prepares for practice day in and day out. He's the leader of that group. He takes coaching. He's a starter on every special teams. He has great endurance. He has the mindset of a corner. He's intense on every single rep, and he's competing to get better each and every day. And I can't say enough about Justin Coleman. He's probably our most consistent performer right now on defense.
Coach, have you started to see any fatigue or maybe overload, especially from the newcomers that are on special, like Cam Sutton and Malik Corbin, that are on special teams units as well as trying to work defense?
Well, I do see a grind at training camp, and that's what training camp is. But yeah, I see it. But that's where you got to fight through. That's where you got to push through. This is where your team is born right now. Going through the next couple of weeks, this will make or break our football team from a leadership, from a physicality standpoint, from our mental conditioning, the ability to fight through and persevere. This right now, these lessons that we're learning will carry us throughout the course of the season. What we're going through right now is how you win football games in the fourth quarter.
But you talked about the make or break point. How conscientious do you have to be of where they are mentally to know kind of how far you can push them?
Very conscientious, and that's why, you have to know your football team, and you have to push your football team to the limits, but not beyond. And that's, today we needed to push them. But I tell you what, I've said it, and I'll continue to say it. This group is comprised of very prideful individuals. They understand. And the thing we have to do is take that emotional part of them out of them and build passion and consistency. I don't like emotional football teams because emotional people are up and down in a consistency factor. We have to be a team that just goes to work every day, and we're building that process, and I see us getting better each and every day.
Coach, you talk so much about consistency, and when you maybe don't see it from the senior, is that sort of like you jumped on Daniel pretty
Sure.
well? Is that kind of light the fuse?
Sure. It's our job to teach them. Those are teaching opportunities. And our standard and expectations are never going to change here. They're not going to waver. Those are championship expectations, what it takes. And Daniel Hood is a very prideful individual. And sometimes, I may motivate somebody and call them out, but I'm really motivating somebody else. So there's all that goes into it. And, to whom much is given, much is required. And that's what we talk to our football team about all the time. And there is something to be said about being a senior in our football program. It's a standard and it's an expectation.
Is Justin Crew living up to your expectations right now? Seems to be a guy that's kind of up and down.
Well, I think Jason's one of those individuals who, again, it's just consistency and performance. And he's still learning, and he missed a lot of last year, the first spring ball that he went through. So, he's still learning. And that's part of that growth and that maturity that we spoke about each and every day. And I said, Jason's a very prideful individual, high character young man. We just have to continue to coach and develop him.
How's Marlon like?
High level of consistency, improving each and every day, very hungry.
You notice a difference in him since?
I do. And we spoke last night again in my office, and it's maintaining that high level of consistency. It's him maintaining that level of intensity. And, he's playing very, very good football for us right now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.